The CDC sent Dr. Laura Berman in to do a 3-year study. Their samples showed no harmful chemical above the standard, but ours showed that we were off the chain.
The Michigan Department of Environmental Quality holds a hearing concerning Detroit's wastewater treatment plant in southwest Detroit. The plant sludge processing equipment put too many pollutants into the air, so the public gets to comment on the violations.
I really feel disheartened about the process.
Teresa Landrum has lived in southwest Detroit all her life.
There's no notification to the residents when there is an exceedance of a dangerous emission.
Here's Rhonda Anderson, who's with the Sierra Club.
We've been to literally, I'm going to suspect hundreds of these permit hearings, especially in this area.
And that's Dolores Leonard, the leader of the group.
How is that going to impact the workers, some who are here tonight? I thank you.
3 environmental activists working together for nearly 2 decades, trying to convince the government to do more to protect their community.
You know, in the 50s and 30s and 40s, that's when African Americans started to really move into the area.
When you look at it, it's all economics. And we, as I keep telling people, we are collateral damage. We're in the way.
Who has the ear of MDEQ? Do you think they're listening to a bunch of poor black people as we've been identified, or Latinos, or people of color, or, No.
This most southwestern part of southwest Detroit, inhabited mostly by African Americans, an area known as 48217, the most polluted zip code in Michigan.
This little diagram here, it shows all the industries within a 3-mile radius that's located around my zip code. This little black outline, that's 48217. Industry, 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 heavy polluters.
This is what we call the black side. When I was growing up, all of this was segregated. So this was the only area that black folks could live in.
The emissions that go into the air eventually fall somewhere, and weather patterns generally go from west to east. It makes sense that the air pollution is getting into the Great Lakes and to more local water supplies.
I've been doing these tours for probably 15 years. And really, they are so damn depressing. It's like, when do we win? When do the people win? All you can do is talk about the bad stuff.
Some of the stuff is so fine it can't be seen. We're breathing it every day. So therefore it's locking itself in our lungs and all over our body.
Marathon's oil refinery has been here since 1930. It's grown a lot since then, making gasoline and other things like asphalt, propane, and sulfur.
I taught myself how to read a permit. When Marathon in 2007 applied for that expansion, and other companies since then, I have taught myself to sit down and read.
When we went to our city council and when Marathon asked for a $2.2 billion expansion, they wanted to extend their footprint into the community, we came out in force to object. But before we could even get to the table, the deal had already been done.
One of the things that came to life was just about every home we visited, someone had died from cancer, or someone in that house had cancer.
We have a toxic soup down here. The cumulative impact, that study that we have been asking for, because Marathon emit a certain amount of different chemicals, DTE emit certain types of different chemicals, US Steel emit certain types of different chemicals, AK Steel emit certain types of chemicals. What is the byproduct of all these chemicals mixing into the air? If one is toxic, then they find out 2 is toxic. When you combine 2 toxic things, isn't that a toxic monster?
Last fall, the MDEQ installed an air monitoring station behind the new Mount Hermon Baptist Church with help from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
This air monitoring station being put in 48217, That is monumental because I really feel that we're one of the first communities to ever have this done.
I think it's important for us to know what we're breathing. I used to work for BASF and in the automotive coatings division, so I'm aware of toxins and what they can do to your body.
I'm testing for SO2, which is directly related to man-made industry, acids found in the air. We're also testing for metals and particulate, specifically 2.25 micron, and VOCs, volatile organic compounds that are found in the air as well.
The monitoring is planned for only a year. After that, who knows? The EPA is on our new president's chopping block. 75 miles up I-75, Flint found itself in the national spotlight with its water crisis, something that might bring more recognition to the problems in Southwest Detroit.
Some of the same toxins that were discovered in the water in Flint are actually in the air in this community. And so it took what happened in Flint to bring notoriety to the battles that we've been fighting in 48217 zip code.
Teresa Landrum's mother and father died of cancer. Her sister was diagnosed with cancer at the age of 24. Her aunt lives a few streets away. She has cancer too.
I'm a cancer survivor. I got cancer. I've never smoked, used drugs, or drank. I'm in this fight to save somebody else's life if I can. I do it because I love my community. This is all I know. This is all I have. If we as a people, we as a government, we as human beings can work on that problem, I'm sure we can solve some of it and give our children, which are our future, a chance at a better life, a healthier life, a livable life.
Growing up in the Downriver area, been here for 26 years, went away to school at Howard University, stayed there for about 8 years total, and now I'm back. There's a big issue that we've actually been experiencing for years, and that's air pollution. I've watched so many people pass away due to illnesses such as the lung cancer, or whether it was problems even with their asthma, as simple as that. And now we're trying to make a change. We're trying to be change agents and create a strategic opportunity, a strategic park that is, that will help us to live better, healthier lives. So that's going to start with Eden Park, Community Park, a great project that I'm looking forward to being a part of. We're going to have some really good things planned to help to raise us the funds so that we can provide these better opportunities for our community.
My name is Wanda Lowe Anderson. I've been a resident of the 48217 area probably pretty much all my life. I grew up in this area. I left for a brief time and then I returned. I've been active in the community advocacy to try and mitigate some of the emissions or environmental issues that are confronting this area. So I've been a part of bringing in an air monitor system. We look at 3 areas to mitigate damages, such as legislative policy and practices, greening, which is where we come in with Eden Park. Green space or green buffering tends to mitigate damages or reduce the air emissions through remediation of the soil, or just providing absorption of the emissions through green space. Green space is like the lungs of a community. So Eden Park is going to be very important to have in this area. It just will improve the quality of life for the residents here who have been plagued with asthma, high rates of respiratory issues, because we're surrounded by industry. So we're striving to become a model community in spite of being surrounded by industry. So Eden Park will definitely be a benefit to this area. The Eden Park project will be located where the old Mark Twain School used to be. It was a staple in the community. The 48217 community is a close-knit environment. The residents all know each other. You will find that there's other family members who are located within blocks of one another. A lot of the people migrated here from the south. So there is that southern feel by a lot of the residents. You will go down the streets and see chairs on the front porch, which is something you don't really see in a lot of communities. residents know each other within miles of one another. So the Eden Park will be a site where these residents can gather. And so we look forward to this type of renewing and family gatherings, and the amphitheater that will be there, that we project the programming for seniors and children. And we would like to see this type of green buffering throughout the city. So hopefully this will serve as a model for other areas, and we look forward to the benefits that Eden Park will bring to the quality of life of the residents here.